Okie dokie. Second example for this problem. I'll go through it a little faster, and it'll be the number of trees example versus the last one, which asked for pounds per tree in the answer choices. So if you need the pounds per tree example, feel free to check out the other version that I've worked out. We are finding the number of trees that will maximize the total yield. So whenever we're finding a max or min of something, we need to find the equation of that something first. So the yield is represented with number of trees times the, not number, but the pounds per tree. So we need the yield, which will be number of trees given by the starting number of trees, 30, and then we are not removing any already planted trees, so we're not subtracting anything, but we are only planting or adding additional trees. Is additional trees that are planted. So we have our number of trees. Now we need the expression for the pounds per tree, which is 126. But they say the yield decreases by 3 pounds per tree for every additional tree planted. So we say minus 3t, since t is every additional tree planted, and it's decreasing by 3 per tree. So we have our yield, and in this example, since I used product rule in the other example, I'll talk through how to use not product rule in this one. So we want to FOIL this out before we find a derivative. 30 times 126, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to write it like this. Because it's a constant, once we get to the point where we have to take its derivative, it'll just go to 0. So t times 126 is 126t. Negative 3 times 30 is negative 90. And then negative 3t times t is negative 3t squared. I did that in what feels like a weird order, but I think I have all the terms there nonetheless. So 30 times 126 plus, let's go ahead and combine these terms. 126 minus 90 is 36. And then we have minus 3t squared. All right, so we have our yield equation here all expanded, so we don't have to use product rule like we did in the other example. And because we're finding the maximum of the yield, we have our yield, so we want to find its derivative, y prime. So a constant, again, goes to 0. 36t goes to 36. Negative 3t squared goes to minus 6t. So we have 36 minus 6t for y prime. We set it equal to 0, and we solve for t. So I'll add 6t to the other side, divide by 6. Whoops. And we get t equals 6. So you'd think, 6 is the number of trees, right? Wrong. So 6 is the number of t, which is additional trees. So 6 additional trees tacked on to what we initially had, 30 trees. So depending on what they're asking in the answer choices, if they're asking for trees, we will look at our number of trees parentheses here and plug in the t value we get into that. So 30 plus t, in this case, will be 30 plus 6, or 36 trees. And we saw in the other example, or if you haven't, check it out, in the example where they ask for pounds per tree. Let's see if I can spell pounds. Pounds per tree. You would plug it into this set of parentheses, or 126 minus 3t instead. So just be aware of which thing they're asking for to tell us which parentheses we will plug this t value into. So in this case, 36 is our answer. We break out the eraser, and B is our best choice.